Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back. So, as part of this session, we are going to talk about how exactly we can handle a web table. So, the web table is the easiest way in representing the data in the form of a table, which does has multiple rows. The horizontal line itself is a row in a table, and the vertical line is a column in a table. If you look at this particular table, it does has one, two, three columns and one, two, three, four, five, six, seven rows basically. The table that we are looking right now, it does has rows as a seven and a columns as a 3. Okay, this is what this particular table has. Okay, this is what this particular table has. Okay, ideally, depending on a table to table, the content will vary. Okay, not only this particular one, depending on a table to table, the content will be varying. So, my requirement here as part of the today's session here is I just want to get this data. So here, if you clearly observe, guys, though this table is having a 7 rows of information, the actual data is starting from the second row. The first row in the table is just for the headers, where in which the information, what kind of an information it is populating. See here the company, which means that this column is representing the company name. Here the contact. This column is representing the contact. Here the country. So this column is representing the country. So which means the table header would be occupied with the first row. Whenever the data you want to retrieve it for a particular table, you will be using it from the second row itself. Perfect. And ideally, another point that we need to consider is in any web page, table will be starting with a table tag, and it does has a t body, and t body does has a tr, which is a table row. Our table row will be starting with a tr tag, and the table data will be having a TD tag. Okay, TD oblique TH is the table. Okay, TD oblique TH is the table data. So what I want to do right now, as per my current requirement, I want to retrieve this particular value itself. So I just want to retrieve only this particular value, which is my first value. So I need to write down a program that will be retrieving the first company. So which itself means it's in the second row, first column value. Okay, perfectly all right. So I have created a sample program, guys. Okay, I have created a sample program, and this program, if you look at it, basically it does has a test, and in which it is opening this particular application and then pass, and it does has a close. That's it. To save time, I just created this file. Now the table is having a unique locator, so right click inspect. Ideally, we have seen that table will be starting with a table tag, and it does has an ID. So copy this one. So here, await page dot locator, the table which is having an ID, and inside the table, ideally, if you look at it, there are a multiple rows are there. Whenever there are a roles are there, we can use get by role. Okay, get by role, and here the role is a row. If at all you want to retrieve it, you can use it as a role. So constant table rows is equal to whatever the table rows information is there, all the table rows information is there in this particular constants right now. And here I said that the first row is a header, the second row is a data. So here table rows. Okay, so I'm just writing await. Okay, table rows, okay, in which I'm going to my first element. So which is gonna be the index of 1 means it's gonna be my second row. In the second row, so this is the first row. If I mouse over on my first row, the header is highlighting. If I mouse over on my second row, the data is highlighting. And if you expand the second row TR, it does has a TD1, TD2, and a TD3. Three TDs are there. As part of my requirement, I just need to get my first TD itself. So the XPath is going to be slash slash of a TD1. So here dot allocator, okay, dot allocator slash slash TD1. Okay, that's it, slash slash td1. And this, I'm storing it, okay, this whole chunk. In order to get that particular text, I'm using an inner text method, and I'm storing it in a constant value 1 is equal to, and here console.log value 1. Okay, console.log value 1. And at the same time, we can also use not only this one. Okay, let me copy these two lines and let me put it here. Instead of a value 1, I'm changing it to value 2. Instead of this particular inner text, I'm using a text content. Either of these methods we can use it in order to get the text on that particular element. So let me try to run this particular program and check it out how it's gonna work out. See, the application got loaded. Now it should get that text from that element. Still the application is loading. So once the inspector got loaded, then we can easily identify that. So let's wait for a minute until the inspector got loaded. Now I'm just clicking on a step over. So my step over is pointing my desired element, and let me run it. So the execution is completed. So let's go and check it out your program. See, both the things are printing the same values, whether you can use an inner text or here you can use a text content in retrieving this particular value. So this is a basic operation that we can perform on a web table. So in the next session we will be looking at a bit more advanced way how exactly we are gonna deal with the tables, guys. Okay, perfectly all right. See you again in the next lecture. Thank you.